Can the president issue an executive order to distribute the $5,000 stimulus checks, otherwise known as Doge dividend, that we've been hearing about for so many weeks? Or can the president issue an executive order for any stimulus check of any dollar amount? The simple answer is yes, absolutely he can, and this could be done very, very fast if he just so desires to do so. This is a really good question and a really good discussion that I've seen out there that I do want to jump on here in this video and talk about the details, because with everything we've been seeing over the last several weeks now, with the economic numbers coming in not very good, the overall markets crashing and burning, and everything that we've been seeing going on right now, we could easily see something like this happening sooner than later. And there's also another option that the president and lawmakers could take as well, which could also distribute massive amounts of money in the form of stimulus, a Doge dividend, distributions, whatever you want to call it, to all of us in the form of stimulus checks, and that is the reconciliation bill that they're currently working on. Yes, they are still working on that thing. Even though we haven't heard a ton about it as of recently, they can add stimulus into that as well. So they have a couple different options here, or they could go through the traditional process of going through this, basically the congressional process of getting the standard votes, 60 in the Senate, writing up their own legislation, their own packages, whatever they want to do. They have multiple different outs here. They have 3 different ways that are very, very easily at their disposal right now, where they could either distribute $5,000 Doge dividends, otherwise known as stimulus checks, or any stimulus check in any dollar amount for that matter as well, executive order, reconciliation bill, or the traditional congressional process, which they typically use for passing basically any piece of legislation. So let's talk through the details. Again, I get a lot of questions about this all the time down below in the comment section, literally every single day, in regards to stimulus or stimulus checks or Doge dividend or $5,000 stimulus. Again, pick the dollar amount. It literally doesn't matter the dollar amount. I get questions about this all the time. Okay, let's talk through this a little bit further. Now, when it comes down to the $5,000, okay, I've said this before, like many times before in other videos. I've had dedicated live streams talking about this. We've covered the details of this plan very, very clearly before in other videos, but here's the situation. This $5,000 is predicated on the performance out of Doge, okay? Department of Government Efficiency, you know what that is by now. I've talked about it many times before. But basically that $5,000 would be distributed after July 4th of next year, 2026, in the event that Doge hits its target of $2 trillion of savings. Now, if we look at the current numbers right now, over $100 billion of savings by Doge. If we look at the current numbers right now, they're saving the average person a little over $700 per month. So if they were actually to distribute a stimulus check or Doge dividend, whatever you want to call it, based on current Doge savings, it'd be between $700 and $800 per person. That's what it would be right now. So it's a far cry from $5,000 that was discussed in the Doge dividend plan, okay? So that's where we're at as of right now. But remember, they still have over a year to go to actually implement all of their different changes and actually achieve their $2 trillion goal or objective that they have actually laid out to get this $5,000, okay? So that's still far out there right now. However, like I said a couple minutes ago, and I want to really reiterate this because this is a really good point that I really want to make, which is, what have we been seeing with the overall economy recently? Well, not very good, right? Not good stuff. A lot of really bad economic data coming out. We've been seeing less jobs being created. We've seen the unemployment rate going up. We've seen inflation maybe going back higher a bit. We've been seeing that. We've been seeing pretty bad economic data coming in. We've seen the markets kind of crashing and burning lately, showing a lot of weakness, a lot of selling pressure coming into the markets, right? We've seen all of these different factors coming in. Now, at any given point, what could they do to reverse this whole thing immediately and send this thing back like a rocket ship going back to the moon? What could they possibly do? There's one thing that they could do to literally reverse this whole economy, reverse everything immediately, like instantly, and send it on back straight up again. What would it be? The distribution of stimulus. That's why they do it. I've said this so many times before in other videos, but Every time that we go into an economic contraction or economic recession, they print up and they plow out all kinds of stimulus, hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars worth of stimulus. Why? Because they know that. They know that it reverses everything immediately. Everything stops on a dime, reverses, and goes straight back up again, and we go into a big expansion phase in the overall economy. Now, a few weeks ago, I was out in a separate video, and I was talking about how the president may actually be crashing the economy and pushing us into a recession on purpose. Why? Why would they possibly want to do that? The whole purpose behind that would be to bring interest rates down. We've made it very clear, or the president has made it very clear, I should say, that he wants lower interest rates. The Federal Reserve is not listening. Jerome and his buddies in the Federal Reserve are not listening to the president's calls to bring interest rates down. So how could he do it? Well, by crashing and burning the economy, pushing us into a recession would literally force the Federal Reserve to come in and scramble and cut interest rates aggressively very, very fast. Well, then guess what? President wins. He gets his lower interest rates like he's been calling on for so long now. Even since last year, he was calling on the Federal Reserve, cut interest rates, cut interest rates. Jerome and his buddies in the Federal Reserve haven't been listening, okay? So they could literally do this. They could crash the economy, push us into recession. The Federal Reserve will cut interest rates aggressively at that time, and then they get exactly what they want. So this is possibly what's going on. However, long story short, and as I mentioned earlier, yes, they could effectively write an executive order to push out Doge dividends, stimulus checks, whatever you want to call it, in any dollar amount. You could call it a stimulus check. You could call it the distribution of the $5,000, which, by the way, we're not there yet, simply because Doge savings has not saved, you know, the amount of money that'd be able to distribute $5,000 per household, and all those details like that. So that is still somewhat of a waiting game on the Doge dividend plan as far as what's going on there. But at any given point, the president could come out and just say, hey, we're sick of this. We're done with the overall economy not doing so well. We really want to pump this thing back up. We're going to issue stimulus. He could easily do that. Or they could come out at any given point and say, we're going to add stimulus into the reconciliation bill, this massive tax bill that they've been working on, multiple trillions of dollars. They could add a couple $100 billion there in the form of a stimulus if they just so wanted to do so. Or the other option would be, as I mentioned earlier, they could come forward and say, hey, we want to go through this the traditional way. We're going to write up a dedicated piece of legislation, or whatever piece of legislation, whatever happens to be. It's going to contain X numbers of billions of dollars of stimulus, and we're going to push it through that way, and lawmakers will vote on it and probably pass it that way as well, okay? So they have multiple different ways that they could do this single-handedly. They could go through the executive order process. They could go through the traditional process, the reconciliation bill, whatever they wanted, multiple different ways. But again, remember, it's all going to be predicated on what I talk about all the time, which is the overall economy. The health of the overall economy is always going to be predicated, is always going to be the determining factor for the need of stimulus and how much we get and things like that, okay? So anyway, to answer the question, I think that probably answered it pretty well. The variety of different ways that we have options here. But again, this is what we know as of right now. Obviously, things can change very rapidly. Of course, I'll continue to keep you posted on this. I do see all the questions coming in around this. I get it. A lot of people are wondering, when are we going to get it? Who's going to be included? How much is it going to be? When are they going to deposit it? Why isn't it coming yet? Why haven't I received it yet? You said. No, I didn't say. I'm sharing all the details here. Nope, has not been approved yet. We're not getting it yet, but this is the plan that's out there. And again, at any given moment, they could come up and they could do this, okay? So anyway, hope this helps to understand this. Now, again, if you have any concerns, if you need help with Medicare, Medicare supplements, Medicare Advantage, Medicare Part D, Medigap plans, initial enrollment into Medicare, you see the phone number there on your screen. Make sure to call those guys over there. That is your exclusive phone number to connect with a dedicated Medicare team. They are absolute experts on this. They know everything. They will help you out. The average person is saving $1,100 when they work with them, and it is 100% free for them to work on your behalf to find you the best plan with the best options, with the best price and the best coverages for your personal needs in your local area. They'll do all of that 100% for free. And there you go. It's up to you to decide at that point if you want to change your plan, and they will find all that for you. So Again, they're doing it 100% for free, which is exactly why we partner with them here on the channel. It's my guys over at Chapter. So again, feel free to give them a call, take a screenshot, take a picture, write the phone number down, whatever you got to do, give them a call, and they'll go to work for you. Again, 100% for free. I just want to really reiterate that. It's free. Free is my theme here on the channel. Love free stuff. Anyway, if I can ask a huge favor of you, number one, who do you know? Think of a few people, 1, 2, 3 people that you know that would benefit from this video right here or this information on Chapter and Medicare help, anything like that. Please share this video with them. There's a share button right down below. Just again, think of a few people, 1, 2, 3 people. Feel free to share this. Again, friends, family members, neighbors, acquaintances, siblings, anybody like that. Again, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Otherwise, check out the other 5,000 videos here on the channel in the video library. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here or if you have not done so yet. Big subscribe button down below. Otherwise, popping up on your screen now, you'll see some videos there. Check those out. Otherwise, again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for allowing me to continue to advocate and represent for you. Thank you for your continued trust in me, the videos, the content, everything I'm delivering to you every single day. I truly do appreciate it. Until next time, please have a nice day. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy, and I'll see you again later in the